Hi, welcome to Direct Access. Please let me introduce you to the Innovation Suite. So this is where we develop a lot of the tactile type of hard printing. We also have an accessible media department that works out of here as well. It takes control and care of large print maps, braille printed menus. Other than that, down here we run a 3D printing process for tactile maps with regards to train stations, city parks. We also do sculptures with braille that people can easily see, read, touch. Depending on what it is, if it's a blueprint of a building or if it's a bust for a museum or anything like that. We tend to take the blueprints, then it goes off to our graphics designer who tinkers with it a little bit more, makes it more solid. Then it comes to us here at the Innovation Centre, and what we do then is turn it from a 2D drawing into a 3D sculpture. When we've gone through the finer points and we've done a QC checks on the PC, we then send it across to the 3D printer. It works in the same sort of process as an injection moulder, which is a rather large machine intended to use in large factory situations where it would heat up plastic to a molten temperature and then inject it through a small nozzle and into a mould. But in this case, it comes out of the head, and the software dictates as to where the head of the printer is going to go, and then it injects just the right amount and then move on to the next bit, and it builds up small layer by layer until we've got what we're trying to achieve. Blueprint time is one I prepared earlier. So we have just been asked to go to Texas, and we've printed this off as a sample for Texas. You can see there's loads of quality and detail there. We've also started to put text and braille onto the print as well. Plenty of opportunity for somebody who's visually impaired to come along, touch, feel, get the size of things. I think we've been knocking up some really high quality products. Sculptures like these would be a brilliant thing in a museum. Like I've said earlier, it's nice and easy for somebody to come along and touch and get the feel of what the artist was trying to achieve or what the sculptor was trying to do, and it really does give them a better understanding, especially if they're visually impaired. We have a number of visually impaired staff members, and throughout the process my colleague and I have been printing little bits and presenting them to visually impaired members of staff, and in a sense creating some sort of soundboard where we're getting feedback off of them, we're correcting it, tweaking it, so as a whole everybody's happy with what's there and it's easily understandable for them. But we don't just use the visually impaired people for this, we also use members of staff with non-impaired vision. So everybody gets a say, everyone gets to put their ideas and things like that across to make it more accessible for everybody, because at the end of the day that's what it's all about.